Can the Knicks repeat the championship? Let's find out. Now, this video right here requires me to, like, in simpler terms, shut the fuck up. I'm not sure if I'm good at that. We gonna find out, though. Let's see.
If you're a Knicks fan, it might be a while before it feels real. 53 years later, the team that finally did it was built around Jalen Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, and OG Anunoby.
Yeah.
But if you're still in disbelief now, what comes next may be even more staggering. This team is just getting started.
Word.
Brunson and OG are only 29 years old, and Towns is only 30. The core of their team are all still right in their primes. And if you were paying attention, the championship they just won felt less like a roster scraping together one perfect run.
And it felt like let me finish the sentence. And it feels more like a group of friends. Watch. I guarantee you're going to say it.
Like a proof of concept of what this team is. Brunson...
This is why I just shut the fuck up, I guess. This is why I should just shut up.
Give the Knicks the thing every title offense needs. A primary creator who can turn ugly possessions into points and drag his team back into games when nothing else is working. Towns gave them something rarely seen in the history of the league. A 7-footer who can pull bigs away from the rim with elite shooting, punish mismatches, and hit cutters and spacers with precise passes. Towns raised the ceiling of a possession, while Brunson raised its floor. And OG gave the Knicks the piece that every title contender wants and almost nobody has. An elite playoff wing who can guard the opponent's best player, space the floor, cut behind the defense, attack closeouts, and do all of it without needing the offense to change for him.
Basically the GOAT. Like, OG Anunoby, I've been saying this. He's the best two-way player in the league. Definitely the best, like, all-around player on the Knicks, in my opinion. Like, both ways. Let's be real. Like, he impacts the game in so many, like, little ways. Why do I sound like an analyst right now? Bitch ass nigga, you don't know shit about basketball. Nah, but seriously though, bro. On Anunoby, like, he does the little things. That's how I kind of play basketball. I do the little things in pickup games. Like, I pick up full court. You can ask all my friends.
Then Mike Brown came in and made each of those pieces work in harmony. He used Towns as a playmaking hub in a way that he's never been used before. He got Brunson moving off the ball without taking away his late game control. He positioned OG to fill in the gaps of whatever would help Brunson and Towns the most on either end. He closed with different groups, tried different styles, and spent time learning how to maximize the personnel he had rather than squeeze them into one fixed idea. And that's why this Knicks championship feels so interesting. The Knicks had the talent and pieces all along. They just needed the right coach, the right roles, and enough shooting, defense, and rebounding around them to make the whole greater than its parts. Now, they have proof that this works at the highest level. So the question after the Knicks' first title in over half a century is already a little uncomfortable for the rest of the NBA. What if this group is still near the beginning?
What if? What if? What if? I don't got anything to add.
It's everything we dreamed of. That's why I came to New York.
Let's start with Brunson because every version of this still depends on him. What the Knicks have done to make their offense more balanced and incorporate better player movement, ball movement, spacing, and less predictable.
Why is there a Hawks clip in there? Y'all played 3 other playoff series, and why is there a Hawks one in here? Like, y'all, let the Hawks series go, dude. That is serious, my nigga. Coming from a Hawks fan, let it go.
Ability all matter deeply, but when the game gets ugly and the opposing defense is locked in, someone still has to make things happen and force possessions to work. That is Brunson. He's the piece that keeps the system from being too delicate or too fragile. If the action breaks down, or the defense switches everything, or the Knicks spend 18 seconds looking for a good shot that they never quite find, Brunson can still turn those possessions into points.
Word.
As we saw against the Spurs, this is a non-negotiable for a title team. The more interesting part, though, is that under Mike Brown, Brunson didn't need to dominate the ball every minute to still leverage that skill set. Most great players have the ball a lot, but it's not about how often they have it, it's about what they do when they don't. And Brunson may be the most
Jose Avocado with the big shot. Oh my goodness. New York legend, by the way.
underrated off-ball superstar in basketball. He's one of the smartest screeners in the league, constantly using his body to spring himself or his teammates open. When the Knicks create an advantage, he's a willing swing passer who keeps advantages alive. And unlike many heliocentric stars, he's an elite catch-and-shoot player at nearly 42% on catch-and-shoot threes over the past 2 seasons. Defenders simply...
You know why? Because he used to be a catch-and-shoot type of guy in Dallas. This is real analysis right here. This is only analysis you're not going to get from ESPN. You're only going to get from here. He was a catch-and-shoot guy in Dallas because Luka was a main character. Luka had main character syndrome. He did not, you feel me? So all he can do is shoot the ball.
We can't ignore him when he's off the ball.
And Wemby has a real problem, man. Does this nigga not realize he's like Bigfoot sight?
Over the past 2 seasons, defenders simply can't ignore...
Put a hand up, jackass. What are you doing? Brunson's literally at his ankles, dude.
...him when he's off the ball. All of that...
And Wemby on offense, he's 7 foot. He 7 foot playing like Chris Smooth, my nigga. Dunk the ball, dog.
Gives the Knicks a rare kind of star. Brunson can dominate the ball when the possession needs him to, and then slide into a supporting role when the better shot comes from somewhere else. That is why the Towns fit worked, and we saw Towns have one of the most impactful stretches of his
Wemby
career.
Again?
Towns could be the early possession playmaking hub. OG could cut, space, and attack the gaps. The ball could move through different parts of the floor without turning Brunson into a spectator. And then, when the possession got tight, the Knicks still had one of the best small space scorers in the world. It's this more versatile version of Jalen Brunson that makes what the Knicks just did feel repeatable.
The big who unlocks everyone.
This was written for New York, and we went and got it done today. And it's because of all the brothers here, because of the fans.
Then there's Karl Anthony Towns. This team only becomes truly championship level when the offensive ceiling is elevated by maximum spacing. There's no big in the NBA who brings that element like Towns. If the defense wants to keep its center near the rim, Towns is one of the greatest big man shooters in the history of the league, including from deep range. If a smaller player switches onto him, Towns can punish mismatches in the paint. If the defense extends to guard him, he can pass over the top of it. If the defense starts leaning...
Now, he's one of the greatest superstar 3-point big men of all time because they got a lot of... I don't know. Who are some great 3-point shooters that were like big as hell for no reason? Al Horford. But Al Horford recently just got good at shooting threes. I don't know.
Towards Brunson, Towns becomes the release valve. And because Towns is doing all of this at center, the Knicks get to stretch the defense without sacrificing size and rebounding. But the defensive side is where Towns has probably been misunderstood the most. For most of his career, his reputation has lagged behind his actual impact. They'd say he's not a great rim protector, or he's uncomfortable playing deep drop coverage. He just isn't the type of defensive center who erases mistakes at the rim. There is truth in those concerns, but the problem is that people often stop the analysis there because there's an assumption that great defense from a big man demands those attributes. But Towns impacts that side of the ball in many ways. He is incredibly switchable for his size, has quick hands and reflexes, and he consistently ends possessions with his elite rebounding ability. And
that was on this is some great defense. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Then, this postseason gave the Knicks the best defensive version of Towns that we've ever seen.
He was low-key locking up Wemby for some games. Some games he outplayed Wet Bananas. He did, man. Shout out to Cat.
Switched onto guards, he guarded, and at times shut down Victor Wembanyama. He protected the rim at a level.
So you gonna steal what I just said? He's gonna steal what I just said, my nigga. This is why I don't watch these type of videos, bro. All they do is steal my fucking shit, dude. That's all they do is steal my words. Who are these women right here?
That he had rarely shown before. This all changes the future math for New York because if Towns can thrive defensively deep into playoff series, the core becomes that much easier to continue to build around. Through 4 playoff series, this combination was impossible to stop this season. The NBA will have to prove there's an answer for it in the next one.
This was our dream, it was our goal, and we did it.
Then there's OG Anunoby, who is the differentiator for this Knicks team. He's the reason this core feels so easy to believe in moving forward. OG solves nearly every problem without asking the team to change or adapt to him. That's incredibly rare in the modern NBA. OG just had the best impact season of his career, culminating in one of the most impactful playoff runs of any player in the league. And he did it by becoming a souped-up version of the player he already was. He finished at the rim better than he ever has.
Over
he took
Wemby?
threes at the highest rate of his career while still matching his peak efficiency. He got to the free throw line more than ever before, and his defensive playmaking was still elite. OG can stand in the corner and hold a defender.
I'm really glad he added this part in the video.
And his defensive playmaking was still elite.
De'Aaron Fox, you're an actual joke to the whole basketball community, dog.
OG can stand in the corner and hold a defender, providing space for Brunson's mid-range artistry and Towns' straight-line drives. He can attack a closeout when his defender arrives late and get himself to the free throw line. He can cut behind the defense when Towns is orchestrating out on the perimeter. He can punish a smaller player, or for that matter, a much larger player, at the rim. If needed, he can create efficient offense without stopping the ball or taking it away from anyone else's rhythm. He's the perfect additive offensive player. And then on defense, OG fills in every gap that his team might have. He'll guard the opponent's physical wing on one possession and switch onto their speedy guard on the next. He wreaks havoc off ball, digging down on drives, making passing lanes you thought were there completely disappear.
Hey!
He protects the rim like a 7-footer. All this means that it's harder to hunt Brunson.
What the That was a hate crime. Y'all seen that? That was a literal hate crime.
And he protects the rim like a 7-footer. All this means that it's hard.
Yo, me personally, bro, if I'm the Brooklyn Nets player who's got blocked right here, I think that's Cameron Johnson.
Harder to hunt Brunson.
You're never going to see me on a basketball court ever again, bro. The next time you will see me, shit, it's going to be in Thailand, my nigga. I'm going to move to Thailand. Nigga, forget basketball. This is about respect at this point. It's all about respect, man.
And Towns doesn't have to become an elite rim protector. That's why OG is much more than just the third guy. He fills every gap between Brunson and Towns, perhaps better than literally any player in the league could. OG is who makes this Knicks title core feel stable.
And you gotta, bro, you have to have some great control and great grip to tip this ball in on first try.
Knicks title core feels stable.
What am I talking about, bro?
We got some dogs on this team, baby!
Mike Brown is the glue that allowed the Knicks to go from a collection of elite talent to a championship team. Tom Thibodeau deserves credit for the floor he helped build in New York, but Brown was hired for a different stage. This roster needed a coach willing to look at the players in front of him and build around their actual skills. Brunson, Towns, and OG are all great players, but they're specific great players. Their best versions require the offensive and defensive deployment that magnifies their talents rather than force fits a predetermined structure. A lot of coaches say they want flexibility, but Brown actually coached that way. He changed closing groups based on strategic need. He leaned into 5-shooter lineups when defenses tried to shrink the floor. He subbed for speed, toughness, or defense when the stretch or even the possession demanded it. He also used the regular season like a coach trying to learn what works so the team could be ready in the highest leverage moments. Many coaches don't want to live with some of the messiness during the season, but Brown allowed it and leaned into adversity as a growth mechanism rather than a problem to solve. Importantly, he also lowered the minute burden of key players. Towns was down about 4 minutes per game from the previous regular season, and OG was down about 3.5. Over 82 games, that is legitimate wear removed from players that the Knicks need fresh in May and June.
Yeah, if Tom Thibodeau, that's what his name is, Tom Thibodeau. If Tom Thibodeau was the head coach, they would have played all 50 minutes. Forget 48 minutes. They would have played the extra 2 minutes, nigga. Dead ass. They would have played before the game, after the game. Tom Thibodeau, fun fact, he doesn't have a bench. He has no bench players. It's all 5-man rotation shit. That's the type of shit I be doing in 2K My Team, my nigga. No bench players, all 5-man rotation. So they had to switch it up a little bit. They had to get Mike Brown. By the way, let's be real. This is probably the worst thing that could have happened to Tom Thibodeau's career. No one's hiring this guy besides the Brooklyn Nets. Maybe the Brooklyn Nets. And that's pushing it. After then, it's probably a team in Russia. Let's be real.
And that's where the rest of the roster matters. Bridges, Hart, Robinson, McBride, Shamet, Alvarado, Clarkson, and Diawara gave Brown a wealth of regular season and playoff options. Wing defense, corner shooting, rim protection, offensive rebounding, pace, and different closing groups depending on the matchup. but the strength of their depth is also a byproduct of how easy this core is to build around. Brunson, Towns, and OG already cover so many championship needs that the Knicks can look for players with only one or two key skills. A veteran shooter might make sense, or a backup ball handler, or a draft pick who can defend, shoot, or run the floor might have a path to make an impact. Leon Rose has already shown that he can make the right call and find pieces that fit, but he made his own job easier by establishing the core that he did. Rose gives them a front office that has earned the benefit of the doubt. Brown gives
Landry Shamet was playing out of his body.
them the flexibility and skill to maximize a roster built around Brunson, Towns, and OG. The Knicks finally did it. After 53 years, that alone is definitely enough. But the part that should worry the rest of the league is how little this feels like a one-off accident or a lucky run. Brunson, Towns, and OG are all still in their prime. Brown has already shown a willingness to keep changing the shape around them, and Rose has built an elite supporting roster that he can continue to keep upgrading on the margins without needing to touch the foundation.
You a dirty
The Knicks
nigga.
title is proof of concept that Brunson can be your 1A on a championship team if Towns is your 1B, and that Towns can be the center on an elite defense if you put him next to OG, and that OG can have star-level impact if he's playing within a Mike Brown ecosystem that simultaneously optimizes everyone's skill sets. The Knicks have built a team that can blitz the Eastern Conference and take on the best in the West, but they may have built a team that can come back and ask for more. For 53 years, New York waited for a champion. Now the rest of the league has to find out whether this was the end of the wait or the beginning of the run. Hot Hand Theory is all about film breakdowns and strategic...
Now, the only thing they have to worry about, there's a team in Atlanta, and we're led by CJ McCollum. Their name is the Atlanta Hawks. That's the only thing y'all got to worry about. Everything else, I mean, y'all good. The Hawks, though, that's a serious question y'all need to figure out on y'all's radar. All right, are they gonna repeat? Is this the next dynasty? Let me know. Like, subscribe. Whew, that's a hard day at work, man. Jeez.